Welcome back, guys. This is part 3 of the series I'm calling What I've Learned Aerial Mapping Using DroneDeploy. Now, if you haven't taken a look at parts 1 and 2, you can take a look at those here or somewhere else, maybe on the sidebar, but be sure to take a look at parts 1 and 2 because they'll give you some context of what I'm doing. So go ahead and subdivide your map into multiple sections that'll be easy for you to map and easy for your team to maintain visual line of sight. That's a requirement as a commercial UAS operator. You are legally required to maintain visual line of sight at all times unless you've received a waiver from the FAA to do so. So what I recommend is go ahead and planning out where you plan on putting your visual observers. Where are the obstacles? What are the obstacles? Is it a large structure in the way? Do you have a bunch of trees? Is your launch point really close to trees, or is it an open area? A lot of things to consider when it comes to planning your mapping mission, but definitely subdivide it into sections that's easy for you to map and to identify. You don't want your UAS to go beyond line of sight at any time. So you'll want to make sure that your visual observers are placed in strategic areas around your area that you're mapping to maintain visual line of sight at all times. That might be an elevated area, an open field, or wherever, but definitely plan out your mapping area for that purpose, just to keep in mind, just to make sure that you're not trying to go beyond the visual line of sight to capture your map. A second thing that I would recommend when it comes to mapping and choosing your mapped area for your site, for your map, is to go ahead and create overlap in your mapping area. So if you've chosen, okay, I'm going to subdivide this area into 2 sections, and I'm going to do one here and one here. Well, I recommend overlapping about 20% overlap or so that it'll be easy for you to add those back later. Creating overlap ensures that you don't accidentally miss a section of the property and it doesn't render out properly. So using DroneDeploy, I recommend go ahead when you create your map, just create it and then duplicate it and then just move the points so that 2 points stay the same and the area that you need to map or overlap stays the same, and so it's just really easy for you to overlap those edges. Once you do it a couple times, it'll make sense. It'll make a lot more sense when you actually see it, but definitely create a little bit of overlaps to ensure that you don't waste your time and have to go back and remap that area because you missed a section when it was rendered. So definitely add overlap when you are subdividing your sections, your map sections.